Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. Well, we're seeing that silver is literally on a tear again. I try my best to help the people out here, coming from a viewpoint and the perspective of just a simple man living out in the country, trying to do whatever I can to help give people understanding from a reality of someone who actually, lives a very simple life. The scripture says a wise man foreseeth the evil and then he prepares his house. And I understand that many of you out there, who you don't have wise men that is trying to help you to prepare this house. I've been mocked, scorned, ridiculed, had my name drugged through the dirt as mud, been called everything but a child of the king. But as we continue to keep going on, and we're watching the value of the dollar decline on a daily basis, and we're watching the precious metal market continue to keep climbing, I'm being vilified. I try my best to bring sound wisdom, sound advice to people like you, no matter what your status quo may be, so that you can prepare. Because I know that your churches, your pastors, I know that your jobs, the places you go to, and especially some of these brokers out here, they're not going to tell you the truth about what's going on. If you don't believe me, you go watch CNBC this morning and you watch and see. They'll still have you to think that the future is bright. They'll still have you to think that the dollar is still almighty, while the whole thing is crashing all around us everywhere. Yesterday I was sitting here reading and I heard that China's getting ready to sell off 2/3 of their treasury bonds. Do you understand what that means? Does that translate to you at all? Now, the scriptures even said that money answers all things. And if you're going to be wise and you're going to prepare your house, you've got to listen to people who know what's going on and stay away from all these people who are continually to desensitize you. There's this statement out there called normalcy bias, which the majority of Americans are guilty of, because we just assume that everything is going to get better. And if you notice, the prosperity gospel has been a lie. Your ship ain't coming in. Their ship is in. Them preachers and teachers' ship is in, but your ship ain't never coming in. There's no jobs growth here in America. Every time your president open up his mouth, he's lying. Every time the news media open up their mouth, they're lying. Stay away from the TV. Stay away. Look for alternative news sources outside of this country that will give you a worldwide view of what's going on, rather than what our country is doing, because they're going to continue to keep lying to you. They don't know how to tell the truth. And so if you listen, if you follow my advice over the last year or two, if you listened to me a year or two ago and you got into silver game at $14 an ounce, right now I just got finished looking at it and I thought it said $47.82. Could be 48. But I do know this. I do know that it's going to continue to keep going up, because you cannot print money out of thin air and then not expect for inflation and then hyperinflation to take place. We have hyperinflation. We have inflation going on right now, right before our very eyes. We're seeing that the products and the packages in the products are shrinking. We're seeing that the value of the dollar is going down. And one way you can tell that the dollar is in decline is every time you see the oil prices going up, it's letting you know how valuable the dollar is. When the oil prices go down, the value of the dollar goes up. When oil prices go up, then the value of the dollar is down. Especially when you look at all these people who say that this is not money. This is going to reset itself like it has always done. We've had a system here in 1913 manipulate the people to believe that, this currency in 1933, this paper stuff is actually truthfully real money, and you've been duped and deceived. Just like you've been duped and deceived and lied to all your life when it comes to faith that you call religion. You've been duped and deceived by money. And we're watching the purchasing power of your dollar decline on a daily basis, to the point that you can't even hardly go out there and buy $100 worth of grocery and expect to get a basket full anymore. You actually come out with a quarter of a basket. And so what I do, not only do I teach you to protect yourself or to hedge yourself against inflation by investing in precious metals. But I actually teach you to hedge yourself against inflation by becoming of to preserve yourself, exercise self-autonomy, self-preservation, so you can grow your own food. And when you grow your own food, your health will return expediently. It's amazing. You see, in our society, we're tanked up sugar left and right, and we wonder why we have so many diseases. And then if you don't keep the commandments, you don't have any set of laws, statutes, and commandments to follow by, especially the ones that the Most High created, you have no choice but to be sick and diseased. But the promise is if you keep the commandments, then none of these diseases and none of these sicknesses shall come up on you like they come up on the Egyptians. So we get ideals. We get people who have traded their faith for religion. And then religion, what it does, it makes excuses for your flesh. So your flesh can justify being disobedient. And then you still end up reaping the terror and reaping the consequences of disobedience, but it doesn't translate because we've been numbed today. Our mind has literally been numbed against the truth. So I know that, hey, I've had minister friends of mine who used to be able to who used to contact me, who used to call me, that no longer do, because you cannot promote lies and you cannot promote a system that is satanic to the core and expect for you to prosper and to be in good health. Expect your soul to prosper. So the only alternative protection that you have is to come out of her. You've got to come out of the economic system, stop playing the game the way that the system teaches you to play it. You've got to come out of the religious system and stop playing it game. And you've got to find truth. You've got to search for truth. You have to seek for truth. And you have to find it, and then you must embrace it. Now, the most painful thing about the truth is that it always requires change. Remember the definition of insanity. You continue to keep doing the same things over and over and over again, and you expect a different result. You're not going to get a different result. So you see, in my late 20s, I saw a long distance what was getting ready to take place and what's going on in this country. I saw what was going on in the economic thing. And I'm in my late 20s doing this, and now I'm in my mid 40s. And I saw these things, and I got mocked, scorned, ridiculed, and everything. I've been called a cult leader, you name it. I mean, I've had all these people call me everything, but you know what I still continue to do? I ignore and I embrace the reproach. And when I ignore the negative comments and when I embrace the reproach, it emboldens me and it strengthens me to continue to keep driving on harder like never before. Because you know what? We're finding out that no matter the voices of dissent out there that are continually keep attacking the way that I preach, the way that I speak, and what I stand for, as time itself is justifying Pastor Dowell. Time itself is saying, look, this man has got a track record and he is telling the truth. But it's not only me. There are other people out here on YouTube that do their best to try to warn you. You know the reason why? Because they respect you, just like I do. I respect you. That's why I get on here and tell you, again, don't allow your skin to be as thin as onion because you don't like the way some people are talking to you. You know, it's that attitude and it's that mindset that has gotten you in the condition that you're in today. I can honestly say this. When I go to bed at night, I lay down with a clear conscience. Do you know the reason why? Because I know in my heart of hearts that I have not deceived the people and I have not lied to anybody. Do you understand that? And it takes some time to get to that point. And I'm to that point. So I'm trying to help the people prepare because, you know, when you look, and especially the rumblings I'm getting in my spirit about what we're getting ready to face here. We're getting ready to face an economic tsunami that's going to take place in one day. In one day, you're going to wake up one morning and the whole economic structure of the United States of America is going to be turned upside down. How in the world can you fathom $6 a gallon gas? We're at $4 right now. I mean, I have a black Ford F-250 and it cost me $100 bill to fill up that truck. Do you think that $100 is worth anything? You think that fiat currency is worth anything? No. But you know what? This continues to decrease in value. I tell you what, There's a lot of people out here doing some warnings. I haven't been able to check them out because I've been laying the floor. I'm getting ready to go back and put this floor in again. But you know what? You're going to have to start really, truly checking and discerning your own heart. And I would be very careful. I wouldn't eat off all these tables. If you find a preacher that won't keep his commandments and still promote Sunday, he's a liar. You need to get rid of him. That's just all there is to it. If you find somebody that's telling you that our dollar is good, our future is looking bright, the economy is doing just fine, while we're printing money out of thin air and talking about expanding the national debt, you know they're liars. So if you want to get out of this mind-numb state, number one, turn off the TV. Get rid of the thing. If you can't turn it off, get rid of it. You're going to have to do something to change what you have been doing, because you cannot continue to keep trusting in the sources that has been lying to you all this time. So I've said and watched a lot of people get blessed that follow my advice. And let me say this. Those of you who I have met and have sent offerings to support the ministry here at Straightway, I bless each and every last one of you because no doubt I use it for the ministry. But I also thank each and every last one of you for making changes in your life. You know, I'm excited to know that at least every single week I get 5 to 10 communications that tell me that people have come out of pagan Christianity. They've come out of these Sunday churches. They stopped Easter. They stopped Christmas. They stopped all these pagan holidays. I'm elated. I'm excited because now you can begin to know your salvation for yourself. You can know him for yourself. So it's wonderful. And I'm glad. And what you need to do is be instrumental, and you need to become proactive and pull as many people out of the fire of lying religion as you can. You need to do that. Also, at the same time, while helping them to prepare for this upcoming economic collapse. You know, it's even hard for me to grasp, and I believe it too with all my heart. It's hard for me to grasp that this coin right here that I paid for this particular coin, I paid $19. That's what, even after shipping and everything, I paid $19 for this coin. It's hard for me to believe that one day this coin is going to be worth $200 an ounce, $500 an ounce. What am I going to do with that money? Well, I'm going to buy the stuff that's going to take care of the things of the needs of the saints of the Most High. I'm going to do whatever I can to help strengthen the church, the assembly of the Most High. I am. And the people. That's why I'm here in this life. Not to sit up here and to live for myself. I have food. I have raiment. I'm content. I'm trying my best by the power of the Holy Spirit to open up as many people's understanding. I know that comes by hearing. You have to hear. You know that you're hearing from a preacher when your faith is increased. That's the truth. But all praise is due to the Most High, and that's just the truth. I really do hope that you will go out today. Where we at? We're in the 25th day of the 4th month of this year. That's what they tell us. Buy food, buy all the food that you can and store it up. You're going to thank me for this advice later. Do it now. Don't wait. Buy paper goods, as much as TP as you can. Get it. And just prepare, because it's really looking ugly this summer.